Jets Ward.
Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you, but first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. It's a great place to be because you guys keep coming back for more, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, it seems like a lot on this channel. I've talked about the Jets needing a quarterback. I've gone through different players that could possibly be potential Jets quarterbacks for the 2026 season. We talked about draft quarterbacks getting drafted this year. But the Jets aren't the only team that's in need of a quarterback. And that's whether it's a starting quarterback or even backup quarterbacks, because the backup quarterback is a very important position as well. Just talk to the 49ers. They have Brock Purdy. He goes down. Mac Jones comes in. They don't even skip a beat. Okay? So the importance of having a backup quarterback is very, very real in this league because you never know. One play could take it all away for your starting quarterback. And if you're left with nothing, look at the Jets. Justin Fields struggled. He gets hurt. We go to Tyrod. Tyrod looks decent. Looks like we can get something out of him. He gets hurt, and you're stuck with Brady Cook, who, no offense to him, was not ready. As an undrafted rookie, he was not ready to start this year. And I don't know if he'll be a starter in this league at all. But anyway, I digress. What I want to do in this video for you guys is talk to you about spots for some of these upcoming stars or upcoming QBs. You might not consider them stars, but everybody who makes it to the NFL is great in some way, shape, or form. If they weren't, they wouldn't be there. So I'm going to go through each team that I think is in need of either a starting quarterback or even a backup quarterback and talk to you guys about where these top quarterbacks could possibly play next year. Now, I'm not going to have Joe Burrow going anywhere. I think he's still going to be with the Bengals. I don't see Trevor Lawrence getting traded or CJ Stroud getting traded, anything like that. But it's quarterbacks who've been rumored to be on the move, whether it's in free agency, trade, maybe draft. So let's get into it. And the first one I'm going to just get out of the way is with the Raiders. We all know Fernando Mendoza is going to be their quarterback. They're going to draft him number 1 overall. He proved how great he's been in college with Indiana, even West Virginia beforehand. The guy's the best quarterback in college football, and he proved it this year. He won a national championship, is great in the pocket, can move around in the pocket as well, get first downs with his legs, solid arm, and great at processing a defense. They got a new quarterback or new coach in Kubiak over there now. Congratulations to him for winning the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator as the Seahawks. But he's going to want his own quarterback. Geno Smith, I don't know if he gets traded, he gets cut. I think they might use him as a bridge quarterback, possibly somebody behind Fernando Mendoza to guide him. I don't know what happens with Geno, but what I do know, Fernando Mendoza going number 1 overall to the Vegas Raiders. They get their starting quarterback for the future and franchise guy for years to come. Great move by them, in my opinion. And we all know it's going to happen. If it doesn't, I'd be very, very shocked. But Raiders fans, I think, are already getting those Fernando Mendoza jerseys printed and ready. So he's my prediction going to the Vegas Raiders as their starting quarterback. Next, I'm going to get another one out of the way because the rumors are coming around. It's looking more like it's going to happen. We're going to go to Pittsburgh. I think Aaron Rodgers returns as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's 42. He got them to the playoffs this year, and he didn't play bad this year. There were some things that show his age, but there were some times where he looked like the Aaron Rodgers of old, where he's making every throw, he's dissecting defenses, great, being a fantastic Hall of Fame type of quarterback. Offensive line was a little banged up this year. Their offensive line in Pittsburgh wasn't great either, so that could have hurt him a little bit as well. But they got to the playoffs, didn't make it very far. They got knocked out in the first round. But Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy's the new head coach in there. Him and Rodgers have a great relationship. He's played under Mike McCarthy in Green Bay when they won a Super Bowl together. Maybe, just maybe, Rodgers gives it one more go to come back and play for a coach that he respects and loves playing with, and tries to get the Steelers over the hump in a system that he knows very, very well. So Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to happen, returns to Pittsburgh as the Steelers quarterback. Next one, we are going to go to Cleveland, and this is my first shocking one. Anthony Richardson. There's been rumors that he could be linked to the Vikings, the Raiders, all these different QB needing teams. But I think it makes sense for the Browns. The new head coach for the Cleveland Browns is Todd Monken. Who was his quarterback when he was offensive coordinator? Who was his quarterback back in Baltimore? Lamar Jackson, guy who's got a solid arm, very athletic, great runner of the football. Anthony Richardson, great runner of the football, but he's got all of the tangibles to be a great running back or great quarterback in this league. He just hasn't brought it all together. I think under a great offensive mind like Todd Monken, I think he could get that. I don't think Monken is going to want Watson there. We don't know what's going to happen with Shedeur Sanders. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is the answer either. I think they trade a late round pick to take a shot on a quarterback who's still very young and has a ton of upside in this league. Can win the game with his legs, has a cannon of an arm. If he can just do the little things right, Anthony Richardson could be a monster in this league. And who knows, maybe Monken is the one who can get him over that hump. But I think Anthony Richardson goes there and fights for a starting job. I don't know if he starts in there, but I think they trade for him because they love his upside and he competes for a starting job there. This is the first twist that I have here. I do think Anthony Richardson gets moved, and I think Cleveland is the place he ends up at. Now, going on to the next one, we have Tua Tagovailoa. I think he ends up getting cut by the Dolphins. I don't think the new coach Hafley wants him. So I think he ends up getting cut. And I think he makes a very smart move for his career and signs on a short-term deal with the Los Angeles Rams. Matt Stafford already said that he's coming back for another year. I think having Tua as your backup and what he could possibly do with McVay as his coach could be perfect for Tua Tagovailoa and his career, because Tua not long ago was one of the best throwers of the football, one of the best quarterbacks statistically in the league years ago in Miami, a top guy. What hurt him? The concussions. Injuries have really, really hurt Tua Tagovailoa in his career, but I think if he signs on a cheap deal to go to Los Angeles and sits behind a guy like Matt Stafford and learns from not only just McVay, but now Cliff Kingsbury as well, I think that could be a perfect situation for him just to collect his thoughts, learn, and sit and possibly turn his career around like a Baker Mayfield did, like a Sam Darnold did, like a Geno Smith did. Tua is that type of player. I still think he's got a lot of ball left in him, and he just needs that time to just take a break and retool, refocus, and collect himself to get back out there. And sitting behind Matthew Stafford's not a bad plan either. So I think he ends up with the Rams. Continuing on, the Chiefs. And you're probably thinking, why do you have the Chiefs needing a quarterback? Patrick Mahomes had a serious injury last year. I don't think he's going to be ready. I definitely don't think he's going to be ready for the season, the 2026 season. And Gardner Minshew also had a serious injury. The Chiefs were left with really no quarterback that's able to start. So what I think they do as a holdover until Mahomes is ready to come back, I think they bring in Marcus Mariota. I think Mariota has shown that he can still play in this league. He can still make really good decisions, and he can still win with his legs as well. I think if he goes over to Andy Reid, a really good offensive mind, one of the best in the league, and is there as a guy who's just there to hold things down, to make things winnable for the Chiefs until Mahomes can come back, I think it would be a great move. He's going to be a starting quarterback there. I don't think Gardner Minshew comes back, and if he did, I don't think he'd be ready for the season. So Marcus Mariota, for the best of him to be able to be a starting quarterback in the league, I think he ends up going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Somebody who can hold it down until Mahomes is ready to come back and stabilize the situation there. So instead of rebuilding Kansas City, I think they retool. They get a quarterback who's still got it in him to win some games, and they basically hold things down until Mahomes is ready to come back. So Mariota going to the Chiefs. Next one, I've got Kirk Cousins. I do not have him going to Minnesota. I have him going to I have him going to Arizona. I think with a new head coach in LaFleur there, I think he's going to want a quarterback that's going to fit his system a little bit better. Kirk Cousins, I think, would love to play in a warm weather state in Arizona. He's 37 years old. He's going to have the best chance to start over there. And I think there's a lot of weapons that he could win with there. And I think LaFleur, especially with having a new offensive coordinator in Nathaniel Hackett, I think Kirk Cousins could work there. Now, is he the long-term answer? No. But I think they take Kirk Cousins and then maybe try to shock the world by taking a Ty Simpson or a Trinidad Chambliss later in the draft, or just somebody like that to fit the system. I think Kirk Cousins is a great bridge option for a year or two in Arizona, and I think he's going to want to go there. I think there's more opportunity for him there. So, continuing on, I have Malik Willis. I think this is the one that's going to be the easiest, honestly, in my opinion. Malik Willis is going to be a highly touted quarterback in free agency. A lot of teams are going to want him. I see Minnesota going for him. I can see the Jets trying to target him. I can see the Raiders maybe. But I think the Dolphins just make a ton of sense. Where is he coming from? He was the backup quarterback to Green Bay, who is now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator from Green Bay. Also, they have O'Sullivan as the GM as well in Miami. Where did he come from? Green Bay. I think it just makes perfect sense. Tua, not the answer. I don't think they're going to stay loyal to him. I don't think they're going to keep him. I think they might cut him if they can't find a trade partner. Quinn Ewers, is he ready? No. Zach Wilson, he's a free agent. I don't think they bring him back. Malik Willis, 26 years old, could be a franchise quarterback, has proved that he's gotten much better since going to Green Bay from Tennessee. I think it just makes too perfect sense. He'll know the system over there in Miami already. I just think it makes too much sense in the world. And if he hits, you have your franchise quarterback for years and years to come. So Malik Willis going to the Miami Dolphins. Then we got the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, the reason I don't have them going Kirk Cousins, and people might argue this, Minnesota is in a win now mode. You have Justin Jefferson as your number one receiver. Jordan Addison could be on the move, but I think they want to win right now. KOC, Kevin O'Connell, wants to win right now. You have Brian Flores back as your defensive coordinator. You have the weapons on offense. You need to build up that offensive line a little bit, but you have the keys to win, especially defensively, and the weapons you have there. Mac Jones makes perfect sense for the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're going to want to take a big swing to try to land a big quarterback. Mac Jones is the biggest fish of them all. I think they're going to pay up to give 49ers what they want. I think he comes into Minnesota. He's your starting quarterback, and it gives J.J. McCarthy a chance to sit and wait and learn to get better behind a guy who's proven it and who seems to have gotten better under Shanahan over in San Francisco takes that same stance as Sam Darnold did from going from San Francisco to Minnesota, I think Mac Jones would take a big leap and be a perfect fit in Kevin O'Connell's offense as well, and take the Vikings to that next step to make them a threat in the NFC North again. And I think they're going to make that big swing because I think they're ready to win now. And they're not going to just try to rebuild. They're going to retool and fight back to try to take the dominance back in the NFC North. Continuing on, I got the Falcons. I have the Falcons being the shocking ones who end up with Kyler Murray. I think he gets cut from the Arizona Cardinals, and I think he ends up going to Atlanta. I think he fits really good in Stefanski's offense. The last time Stefanski had a solid quarterback that really fit his system, he didn't want Watson. We all know that. Shador, he didn't want either. He was very happy having Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was successful in that Browns offense. And then they shipped him away. Stefanski didn't want that. But Baker Mayfield is very similar style to Kyler Murray, getting outside the pocket, making things out of nothing, better throwing on the run, doing all these different things, improvising, doing all these things. I think that's what Stefanski wants in a quarterback. I don't think he's trusting of Michael Penix. I think he's worried about that. The injuries are a big concern with Michael Penix as well, which is the same thing about Kyler Murray. But I think the Falcons have a better offensive line that are going to protect Kyler better. And there's a lot of great weapons down in Atlanta as well. And I think Kyler could have a really good bounce back season under an offensive minded coach. He was playing under a defensive minded coach in Gannon. I think under an offensive minded guy like Stefanski that can turn his career around and get him back on track. I think he's still got a lot of game left in him, a lot of play left in him. I think he's still very talented. And I like a lot of the things that Kyler Murray can bring. I think he's a perfect fit in that Atlanta system. And I think he can work very, very well there. Now, what that leaves now is I have the New York Jets. The Jets. Who do we have going on to the Jets? I have Jacoby Brissett. I think it just makes too much sense. If there's smoke, there's fire. There's rumors after rumors that Jacoby Brissett and the Jets would make a move for him. I don't think it's going to cost you too much either. Maybe a 5th round, maybe your 4th round pick. If you're willing to give up, I'm willing to give up a 4th round pick for Jacoby Brissett. Had his best career year last year in Arizona and didn't even start all games. I think he fits the Jets system under Frank Reich. He's played in Frank Reich's system before. The two of them have a relationship already. I think he comes in a 2-year bridge quarterback. You still can take a shot on drafting a quarterback like a Carson Beck, a Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Allar, Ty Simpson. You take your pick of who you want. Sawyer Robertson, if you want. I think he's the best bridge quarterback that you can get and one of the best teachers you can get in this position as well. I don't think he minds being a bridge quarterback and a mentor to a younger quarterback as well. And even if you don't take a quarterback this year, next year, you still have him there. You can re-sign him to another year or two and draft your quarterback when the quarterback class is said to be better. So Jacoby Brissett, I think, just makes too much sense for the New York Jets and would fit perfectly in Gang Green. Now, do the Jets make that move? I really hope they do. And I think that would be a really good thing for the New York Jets as well. But these are my predictions of who starts or who goes where, the big name quarterbacks this offseason. Like I said, wasn't going to put Joe Burrow out there, wasn't going to put CJ Stroud, wasn't going to put Lamar Jackson. I don't think they're going anywhere. But I think these are realistic options of where these top quarterbacks can land in the upcoming 2026 offseason and leading into the 2026 NFL season as well. I would love to hear from you guys what you think. Do you think I got this right? Do you think I got it wrong? Are there changes that you would make? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. It really helps me out. We're getting closer and closer to 3,000 subscribers, which is insane. I love it, and I appreciate you guys for it. But make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos, just so you stay updated of what's going on in the Jets Ward. And Follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok. I try to post my videos and shorts on there as well, just so you can see me on other platforms. And again, I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you so much, guys, for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.